Cue the drum roll. All right, open your boxes. Open your boxes. 1, 2, 3. You get a call! You get a call! You get a call! Everybody gets a call!
What's up, guys? It's your boy, Benny. Sure is interesting how climate change manages to avoid multi-million-dollar mansions that are on the beach. That's right. It seems like the fires of Maui was just smart enough to not burn down all of the mansions for all of the rich people who have beachfront property. That climate change, it sure doesn't discriminate. Unless, of course, you're a multimillionaire who's living directly on the beach in Maui and is in need of a little extra space, to expand your globalist empires. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the kind of things that people are tweeting. These are the kind of things that people are saying as they look at Maui and say, so none of this makes sense. None of this makes sense. And the more that we look into what actually happened in Hawaii, the more we're starting to get actual answers. So many say climate change caused the deadly fires in Hawaii, according to Michael Schellenberger, reporter, but it didn't. What caused the fires in Hawaii is the electrical failures to clear flammable grasses from around electric wires because it's focused on ratepayer money, which was going to renewables. What does that mean? It means that climate change actually did cause the fires in Hawaii, just not in the way that they say. Hawaiian Electric knew of wildfire threat, but they waited years to act. Why? Well, because they're spending way too much money on, eliminating cow farts. The dark, hard truth about Maui catastrophe led to over 110 tragic deaths. And what they're saying now is it may be thousands more. We'll bring you that awful, awful report in just a moment. As wildfires rage, desperate residents petitioned their state to send more water for firefighters to help protect the properties from the fire. The request was unanswered for hours, withholding critical aid to islanders. Oh, interesting. Now we've learned that it was delayed by an Obama Foundation Asia Pacific leader, the climate activist who believes that water should be revered first and foremost. The DEI agenda is literally costing people their lives. Why? Democrat Governor Josh Green said the people fighting against the release of the water to fight fires needs to be explored further. Number one responsibility of government is to protect the citizens. The victims of the family deserve the truth. Climate change did kill these people. It was just climate change activism that killed these people. That's right. Here's the asshat Obama Foundation ambassador to Hawaii talking about all this type of pseudo-spiritual hedonistic garbage, secular humanistic garbage about how water shouldn't be used to help people that are burning alive. His name is M. Kaleo Manuel, Hawaii water official who refused to release any water while children burned alive in their homes, explaining his philosophy about water. Native Hawaiians treated water as one of the earthly manifestations of God. So we should let people burn alive because that's what God wants. That's what he's saying. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, here he is saying it.
The commission is responsible per our authorizing statute to protect and manage all water resources in the state. One Water is like taking it and looking at it from a holistic system perspective. And that's not any different than how Hawaiians traditionally managed water. In essence, Native Hawaiians treated water as one of the earthly manifestations of a god and a kua kane. And so that reverence for a resource and that reciprocity in relationship was something that was really, really important to our worldview and well-being, right? And living in an island, isolated from other, civilizations. And so I think where it shifted to today or over time is that we've become used to looking at water as like something which we use.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Like we shouldn't use water not to save lives of children who are being burned alive. So we now know so much more than what we knew a couple of days ago about this fire. We know that thousands of people presumably are dead. We know how this all happened because a spark inside of a field from an electrical line started a roaring wildfire. We actually have that now on security camera. And now we know who's responsible for all the deaths. Do you know that they didn't even sound the alarms for the people? This is what was making people very, 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 very nervous and scared about wait a second, did they actually want this to happen? Woke Hawaiian official who stalled release of revered water until it was too late to save Maui. Yep, this guy right here. Water requires true conversations about equity. See that? See that? So the water that is used to fill the multiple swimming pools on Barack Obama's palatial estate in Hawaii, that water is revered. But water that is used to save burning children who are burning alive inside their homes, nope, that water is not revered. Got it? Maui emergency leader, who has no experience in crisis management, says activating the island's emergency sirens would have saved no one. Oh, got it. We're not supposed to sound the alarm when a fire is going to kill your children. No. These people. You know, you get the government that you vote for. You get the government that you vote for. And again, we want to present to you all the available evidence. This is the moment. See this? This is a security camera footage from Maui. You can see the explosion there. This is somewhat common. A bright flash in the wood, and then you can see the fires beginning. And presumably, this is how the fires began. You can see here the footage here, where a downed power line during a storm, which is something that is somewhat commonplace. But the electrical companies are supposed to make sure that those power lines that are not surrounded by dry brush, that then immediately starts an inferno that blazes on and on and on. So what are our leaders also seem like utterly distant and completely disconnected from what's going on here. Joe Biden said no comment when people asked about the thousands that had been killed in this fire. And why do I continue to say thousands? Well, because of something that is deeply horrible. A report from CBS News saying that they are trying to keep this number artificially low. Amazing how that happened. Amazing how this happens inside of Democrat states. If this were happening in Katrina and a Republican was president, well, then this would be the biggest story, of course, in the world. And it would be used as a cudgel to destroy a presidency. But this is happening in a Democrat state, and a Democrat is president. Therefore, the media has very little interest. But here's a report from CBS News detailing precisely how deadly this thing is, and the people who are trying to cover it up. I wonder who would be trying to cover up these deaths, and who would possibly benefit from half of the island of Maui being burned to the ground, and then people having their property stolen from them. Makes you wonder. Makes you ask a couple of questions. Watch this.
President, any comments on the rising death toll in Maui?
Will you come talk about the Hawaii response, Mr. President?
Nothing there.